This is the moment your AI-engineered voice, built from nothing but a few minutes of raw audio, comes alive. The model you created is now speaking full paragraphs you never recorded, with perfect emotion, pacing, and control. And when you hear your own voice saying words you never said, that's when you realize this changes everything. Welcome to the full ElevenLabs Voice AI Masterclass. I'm going to walk you through everything from your first login to advanced multilingual voice shaping in one complete, uncut training. This isn't a quick tip video. It's a 1-hour deep dive designed to take you from beginner to professional level voice AI operator. By the end, you'll know how to create custom voice models that sound indistinguishable from real recordings, control tone, pacing, emotion, and emphasis with precision, build production-ready workflows for content creation, storytelling, and commercial projects, navigate voice cloning, model tuning, and output optimization, deploy voices across podcasts, YouTube videos, and audiobooks. This is the skill set reshaping the creator economy in 2025. While most people are still reading into microphones, you'll be generating studio-quality voiceovers in seconds, iterating faster, and scaling content in ways that were impossible 2 years ago. Why this matters in 2025? Let's be honest, voice AI isn't a novelty anymore. It's infrastructure. Creators, agencies, and businesses are using tools like ElevenLabs to produce multilingual content without translators or voice actors, generate consistent brand voices across hundreds of videos, turn written content into audio at scale, prototype narration styles before expensive studio time, build new content formats that didn't exist before. The barrier isn't access, it's knowledge. Most people know ElevenLabs exists. Very few know how to use it at a professional level. That's what this masterclass fixes. You're not learning how to generate a voice. You're learning how to architect voice systems, treating tone, emotion, pacing, and delivery as controllable variables, troubleshooting when something sounds off, and building workflows that take you from idea to final audio in minutes. This is technical craft disguised as creative work. And by the end of this training, you'll have both sides locked in. What is ElevenLabs? ElevenLabs is a voice synthesis platform built on deep learning models trained to replicate human speech patterns. It's not old robotic text-to-speech. It's generative AI trained on thousands of hours of real voice data to produce natural speech with emotional range, tonal variation, and contextual awareness. The platform offers two main functions. 1. Pre-built voices, a library of professional voice models you can use immediately. 2. Voice cloning. Upload your own samples and train a custom model that sounds like you or anyone else. The second option is where the real power is, and it's what we'll focus on. What sets ElevenLabs apart is that it doesn't just read words, it interprets them. It understands punctuation, structure, emphasis cues, and emotional context. When you write, "Wait, what?" it doesn't just say it, it hesitates, questions, and reacts. That's why it's so useful. You're not programming a robot, you're directing a performance. What you need to start. Let's talk about setup. 1. An ElevenLabs account. You can start with the free tier, but if you're serious, upgrade to the creator plan, $22 per month. The free version gives you 10,000 characters, about 10 minutes of audio, which is fine for testing, but too limited for real projects. 2. High-quality source audio. If you're cloning a voice, you need at least 1 minute of clean, clear voice samples. No background noise, no music, no echo. Just a voice speaking naturally. If you're cloning your own voice, record yourself reading a few paragraphs in a quiet room using a decent microphone. 3. A text editor. You'll be writing scripts and adjusting punctuation. Use Google Docs, Notion, or any clean writing environment so you can see your text clearly before sending it to the AI. 4. Headphones. This matters more than you think. You need to hear the details. pacing issues, tonal shifts, awkward pauses. Laptop speakers won't cut it. That's it. No expensive gear or technical background, just access to the platform and the willingness to learn. Tiny demo, your first voice generation. Let's run a quick test so you can see how this works. Log into ElevenLabs, click Speech Synthesis in the left menu. You'll see a text box and a drop-down menu of voices. Pick any voice, let's say Rachel, one of the default options. Type this into the text box. This is my first AI-generated voice. I'm testing tone, pacing, and clarity. Hit Generate. Within seconds, you'll hear a voice read that sentence back to you. Clean, natural, conversational. Now change the punctuation. Add a pause. This is my first AI-generated voice. I'm testing tone, pacing, and clarity. Generate it again. Notice the difference? The pause creates hesitation. The AI interprets that ellipsis as a moment of thought. That's the foundation of everything we'll build. Small adjustments in how you write create massive shifts in how the AI performs. Why punctuation matters. Here's a concept we'll return to constantly. Punctuation is direction. When you write for ElevenLabs, you're not just writing words, you're writing instructions. The AI reads your commas, periods, dashes, and ellipses as performance cues. Example, I don't know. Neutral, factual, I don't know. Uncertain, trailing off, I don't know. Surprised, emphatic. Same 3 words, 3 completely different deliveries. This is why ElevenLabs produces professional results for people who understand how to write for it, and why beginners get flat outputs. They're typing sentences, not directing performances. We'll unpack this more, but keep it in mind now. Every comma, dash, and question mark matters. Building your first custom voice model. Now we're going to build something real. Your first custom voice model. This is where ElevenLabs moves from interesting tool to production-ready system. Anyone can click a button and generate a voice, but when you can clone a specific voice, yours, a client's, a character you're creating, and have it sound natural, consistent, and controllable, that's when you unlock the real power. Let's start with the most important question. What makes a good voice sample? Voice cloning is not magic, it's pattern recognition. ElevenLabs' AI analyzes the audio you upload and learns the unique characteristics of that voice. Pitch, tone, rhythm, accent, speech patterns, breathing, micro pauses. Then it replicates those patterns when generating new speech. But here's the critical part. The quality of your output is determined by the quality of your input. If you upload noisy, inconsistent, poorly recorded audio, the AI will learn noise, inconsistency, and poor recording quality. Your cloned voice will sound muffled, distorted, or robotic. If you upload clean, clear, expressive audio, the AI will learn clarity and expressiveness. Your cloned voice will sound natural and professional. So before we upload anything, let's talk about what makes a good voice sample. The 4 rules of voice sampling. Rule 1, clean audio only. No background noise, no music, no echo, no hum from your computer fan, no rustling papers, no traffic outside your window. The AI doesn't know the difference between the voice and everything else in the recording. If there's noise, it will try to replicate that noise as part of the voice. Record in a quiet room. Use a decent microphone if you have one. If you don't, use your phone's voice recorder. Modern smartphones have surprisingly good mics. Just get close to the mic and speak clearly. Rule 2. Consistent recording quality. Don't upload samples from 3 different environments with 3 different microphones. The AI will get confused trying to learn a voice that sounds different in every clip. Record all your samples in the same session in the same location with the same setup. Consistency is everything. Rule 3. Natural, expressive speech. Don't read like you're taking a test. Don't speak in a monotone. Don't rush through sentences. Speak the way you'd speak if you were telling a story to a friend. Vary your tone. Pause naturally. Let your voice have personality. The AI learns emotional range from your samples. If you sound flat and robotic in your recordings, your cloned voice will sound flat and robotic in the outputs. Rule 4. Aim for 1 to 5 minutes of audio. ElevenLabs technically works with as little as 30 seconds of audio, but the results are inconsistent. For a high-quality clone, aim for 1 to 3 minutes minimum. You don't need hours of audio. You just need enough variety for the AI to understand the full range of your voice. Low tones, high tones, fast speech, slow speech, emphatic moments, soft moments. Think of it like this. You're teaching the AI what your voice can do. The more examples you give, the better it learns. How to record your voice samples. Let's walk through the actual recording process. Step 1. Choose your recording environment. Find the quietest room in your house. Close the windows. Turn off fans, air conditioners, and anything that hums. Put your phone on silent. If you have a closet full of clothes, record in there. Fabric absorbs sound and reduces echo. If not, just pick a small, quiet room with minimal hard surfaces. Step 2. Set up your microphone. If you have a USB microphone, like a Blue Yeti or Audio-Technica AT2020, use it. Position it 6 to 8 inches from your mouth. If you're using your phone, hold it about 6 inches away or set it on a stand. Don't hold it too close. You'll pick up mouth sounds and breathing. Don't hold it too far. You'll pick up room noise. Step 3. Choose your script. You need something to read. Don't improvise. You want clean, well-paced speech, and scripted reading ensures you're not stumbling over words. Here's a simple starter script you can use. I'm recording this sample to train a custom voice model. The goal is to capture the natural sound of my voice, the way I speak when I'm relaxed and conversational. I want the AI to learn my tone, my pacing, and the unique characteristics that make my voice sound like me. So, I'm going to read a few sentences, speak naturally, and let my personality come through. This isn't a performance, it's just me, talking the way I normally talk. That's about 30 seconds. Read it once, naturally. Then read a few more paragraphs, anything works. News articles, book excerpts, your own writing. Just keep speaking naturally for 1 to 3 minutes total. Step 4, record multiple takes. Don't try to get it perfect in one shot. Record 2 to 3 separate clips. If you mess up a word, pause, then keep going. You can edit out mistakes later. Use any recording software. On Mac, use QuickTime or voice memos. On Windows, use Voice Recorder. On your phone, use the built-in Voice Recorder app. Save your files as WAV or MP3. ElevenLabs accepts most audio formats. Pause here and test this. Before we move to the upload step, stop and record your samples now. Find a quiet space. Record 1 to 3 minutes of clean, natural speech. Save the file, listen back to it. Does it sound clear? Can you hear your voice cleanly without background noise? Does it sound like you? If yes, you're ready. If not, re-record in a quieter space or closer to the mic. This step determines everything. Don't rush it. Uploading your voice to ElevenLabs. Now let's turn that audio into a custom voice model. Log in to ElevenLabs. On the left sidebar, click Voices. Then click Add Voice or Instant Voice Cloning, depending on your interface version. You'll see 2 options. 1. Instant Voice Cloning. Fast, works with small amounts of audio, decent quality. 2. Professional Voice Cloning. Slower, requires more audio, higher quality. This is a premium feature on higher tier plans. For now, we'll use instant voice cloning. It's faster and works great for most use cases. The upload process. Click Instant Voice Cloning. You'll see an upload box. Click Upload Audio and select the voice sample you just recorded. Next, you'll be asked to name your voice. Pick something simple and descriptive. John, natural. Sarah, warm tone. My voice, conversational. You'll want to remember what this voice sounds like when you're choosing between multiple models later. Then you'll see a text box asking you to describe the voice. This is optional but useful. Write a short description. Natural, conversational male voice. Warm tone, mid-range pitch, clear enunciation. This helps you remember the character of the voice when you're managing multiple models. Finally, click Add Voice. ElevenLabs will process your audio. This takes 30 seconds to 2 minutes depending on file size. When it's done, your custom voice will appear in your voice library. Generating your first output with your custom voice. Now let's test it. Go back to Speech Synthesis. In the Voice drop-down menu, you'll now see your custom voice listed alongside the default voices. Select it. Type this into the text box. This is my custom voice model. I trained it using my own recordings, and now I can generate speech that sounds like me without ever speaking into a microphone again. Hit generate. Listen. Does it sound like you? It should. If it doesn't, we'll troubleshoot in a moment. But if it does, if you hear your own voice speaking words you never actually said, that's the moment. That's when this becomes real. You just cloned your voice. Why some voice clones fail. Let's talk about what goes wrong when voice cloning doesn't work. Problem 1. The voice sounds robotic or unnatural. Why this happen? Flat, monotone, or emotionless source audio. Fix. Re-record with more expression. Smile, vary your pitch, and speak like you're telling a story. Problem 2. The voice sounds muffled or distorted. The reason? Background noise, echo, or low-quality recording. Fix. Re-record in a quieter space, closer to the mic, and monitor with headphones. Problem 3. The voice sounds inconsistent. The reason? Too much variation in your samples, different rooms, moods, or volumes. Fix. Re-record everything in one session, one location, with consistent energy. Problem 4. The voice has an accent or speech pattern you didn't intend. The reason? The AI picked up subtle traits you didn't notice, slurred words, fast pacing, etc. Fix. Re-record with careful enunciation. Speak slightly slower and over-articulate without sounding unnatural. What you should have now. Let's pause and check progress. At this point, you should have recorded 1 to 3 minutes of clean, natural voice samples, uploaded those samples to ElevenLabs, created your first custom voice model, generated at least one output using that model, listened to the result and evaluated whether it sounds natural. If any of these steps didn't work, go back and troubleshoot. Don't move forward until your voice clone sounds good. Building a functional voice system. You now have a working custom voice model. That's the base. But generating a single sentence isn't the same as building a functional voice system. Right now, you have a tool. What we're going to do next is turn that tool into a workflow. A repeatable process you can use to create professional voiceovers for real projects, podcasts, YouTube videos, audiobooks, client work, anything that requires high-quality narration. The core principle, you're directing a performance. Here's the mindset shift that separates amateur AI voice users from professionals. You are not typing sentences. You are writing stage directions. When you write for ElevenLabs, every comma, every dash, every ellipsis is an instruction. You're not just telling the AI what to say, you're telling it how to say it. Think of yourself as a director working with an actor. The actor, the AI, is talented and capable, but it needs clear direction. If you write flat, generic text, you'll get flat, generic delivery. If you write with rhythm, pauses, and emotional cues, you'll get expressive, human-sounding narration. Let me show you what I mean. Example, the power of punctuation. Let's take a simple sentence and see how punctuation changes the performance. Version 1. I didn't expect that to happen. Neutral, factual, slightly flat. Version 2. I didn't expect that to happen. The ellipsis adds a pause. Now it sounds reflective, slightly surprised. Version 3. I didn't expect that to happen. The exclamation adds emphasis. Now it sounds shocked, energized. Version 4, I didn't expect that to happen. The question mark shifts the meaning. Now it sounds confused and uncertain. Same 7 words, 4 completely different deliveries. That's the power of writing for AI voices. Your job is to become fluent in this language, to know that commas slow pacing, dashes create separation, ellipses add hesitation, and exclamation points inject energy. We're going to use this principle to build a real project. Project, your first complete voiceover. Let's create a 60-second voiceover for a hypothetical YouTube video intro. This will give you hands-on experience writing, generating, and refining AI voice output. Here's the scenario. You're creating the opening narration for a video titled, "The Future of Remote Work, What Changed in 2025." The tone should be professional, curious, slightly optimistic. Step 1. Write the script. Open your text editor. Write this script. Remote work was supposed to be temporary, a short-term fix for a global crisis. But 5 years later, it's not just here, it's evolved. In 2025, remote work isn't about Zoom calls and makeshift home offices anymore. It's about distributed teams, asynchronous collaboration, and entirely new ways of building companies. So what actually changed? And more importantly, what's coming next? Let's dive in. Read it out loud. Notice the rhythm, the pauses, the emphasis, and the lingering question before the final line. Now generate it. Step 2. Generate the first draft. Go to speech synthesis in ElevenLabs. Select your custom voice model or use one of the pre-built voices if you prefer. Paste the script into the text box. Click Generate. Listen to the output. What do you notice? Chances are some parts sound great, natural, conversational, engaging, and some parts sound off. Maybe the pacing is too fast. Maybe a word is emphasized wrong. Maybe a pause isn't long enough. This is normal. First drafts are never perfect. Now we refine. Step 3. Identify the problems. Listen again. Take notes. Ask yourself, where does the pacing feel rushed? Where does the AI emphasize the wrong word? Where do I want a longer pause that isn't happening? Where does the tone feel flat when it should be energized? Let's say you notice these issues. The phrase, "It's not just here, it's evolved," feels rushed. You want a stronger pause between the two parts. The question, "So what actually changed?" doesn't sound curious enough, it feels flat. The final line, "Let's dive in," should sound more energized, more inviting. Now we fix them. Step 4. Revise the script with performance cues. Here's the revised version with adjustments. Remote work was supposed to be temporary, a short-term fix for a global crisis. But 5 years later, it's not just here, it's evolved. In 2025, remote work isn't about Zoom calls and makeshift home offices anymore. It's about distributed teams, asynchronous collaboration, and entirely new ways of building companies. So what actually changed? And more importantly, what's coming next? Let's dive in. Notice the changes. Added ellipsis after here for a longer pause before it's evolved. Kept the question mark on, "So what actually changed?" Might test, "So what actually changed?" Change the period after "Let's dive in" to an exclamation point for more energy. Generate this version. Listen, compare it to the first draft. Better? If yes, keep it. If not, adjust further. Step 5. Iterate until it's right. This is the real workflow. You write, generate, listen, revise, generate again. Most professional AI voice projects go through 2 to 5 iterations before the output is production ready. Don't expect perfection on the first try. Here are more advanced techniques you can use to fine-tune performance. Technique 1. Use commas to slow pacing. In 2025, remote work isn't about Zoom calls and makeshift home offices anymore. Add commas. In 2025, remote work isn't about Zoom calls, makeshift home offices, or endless video meetings anymore. The commas force the AI to pause slightly, slowing the pace and giving listeners time to absorb the information. Technique 2. Use dashes for dramatic separation. It's not just here, it's evolved. The dash creates a clean break, more emphatic than a comma. Technique 3. Use ellipses for hesitation or build-up. And more importantly, what's coming next? The ellipsis adds anticipation, creating a pause before the question. Technique 4. Use all caps sparingly for emphasis. Some AI models overemphasize all caps. Test it with your voice model. Remote work isn't dead, it's evolved. The AI might stress dead strongly. Use carefully, or it can sound unnatural. Technique 5. Break long sentences into shorter ones. Remote work was supposed to be temporary, a short-term fix, but 5 years later, it's not just here. It's evolved. Shorter sentences force the AI to pause more, creating punchier, more deliberate delivery. Test your script. Pause here. Take the YouTube intro script we've been working on and generate 3 versions. 1. The original version, no adjustments. 2. The revised version, with ellipses, exclamation points, adjusted pacing. 3. Your own version. Experiment with different punctuation and structure. Listen to all 3. Which one sounds most natural? Most engaging? Most professional? This is how you develop an ear for AI voice direction. You test, compare, and learn what works. Common mistakes and how to fix them. Let's troubleshoot the most frequent issues people encounter when building AI voiceovers. Problem 1. The voice sounds too fast. Reason: not enough punctuation. The AI reads sentences as continuous streams without natural breaks. Fix: add commas, periods, and ellipses to slow the pacing. Break long sentences into shorter ones. Problem 2. The voice sounds monotone. Reason: flat writing. If your script is purely informational with no emotional cues, the AI will deliver it flatly. Fix: add questions, exclamations, and conversational language. Write like you're speaking to a person, not reading a textbook. Problem 3. The AI emphasizes the wrong word. Reason: the AI's default emphasis patterns don't match your intention. Fix: use italics or rewrite the sentence to put the important word in a naturally emphasized position, usually at the end of the sentence or after a pause. Example: wrong emphasis: I didn't say you were wrong. Emphasizes say when you want emphasis on you. Rewrite: I didn't say you were wrong, or I didn't say you were wrong. Problem 4. Unnatural pauses in weird places. Reason: usually happens with abbreviations, unusual punctuation, or formatting issues. Fix: spell out abbreviations, remove extra spaces, simplify punctuation. Problem 5. The voice sounds robotic on certain words. Reason: the AI doesn't recognize the word, or the word is technical, uncommon. Fix: spell the word phonetically or replace it with a simpler synonym. Example: if asynchronous sounds awkward, try async or rewrite as flexible, time-shifted collaboration. Exporting your final audio. Once you're happy with the output, let's export it. After generating your audio, you'll see a download icon next to the playback controls. Click it. ElevenLabs exports audio as MP3 by default. High quality, 128 kilobits per second or higher depending on your plan. Save the file, name it clearly, YouTube intro remote work final.mp3. Now you have a production-ready voiceover file you can drop into any video editor, podcast software, or audio project. Podcast intro in action. Podcast intro example. Scenario: launching The Deep End, a podcast interviewing experts about complex topics. Script: first draft. Welcome to The Deep End. I'm your host, and every week we're diving into the ideas, systems, and stories that shape the world we live in. No fluff, no surface level takes, just deep conversations with people who actually know what they're talking about. If you're here, you're probably tired of shallow content. Good, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Generate this with your custom voice model. Listen, does it sound confident, authoritative, inviting, revised version for better pacing and tone. Welcome to the Deep End. I'm your host, and every week we're diving into the ideas, systems, and stories that shape the world we live in. No fluff, no surface level takes, just deep conversations with people who actually know what they're talking about. If you're here, you're probably tired of shallow content. Good, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Notice the changes ellipsis after welcome for a dramatic pause. Question mark after if you're here to create a conversational tone. Generate again. Better. This is the process. Write, generate, listen, revise, repeat. Advanced voice control and expressiveness. Now let's go deeper into the advanced techniques, the methods and mental models that professional voice AI operators use to create outputs that don't just sound good enough, but sound indistinguishable from human recording sessions. We're talking about emotional shaping and tonal control, voice settings and stability adjustments, multilingual voice generation, character voice creation, advanced script engineering techniques. Let's start with the most powerful and misunderstood feature, emotional control. Method 1, emotional shaping through context. Here's something most people don't realize about ElevenLabs. The AI doesn't just read your words, it reads the emotional context around them. What does that mean? It means the AI interprets not just what you say, but how the sentence is structured, what came before it, and what emotional cues are embedded in the language. Let me show you. Test 1. Neutral delivery. Generate. I can't believe this happened. Listen. It sounds relatively neutral, maybe slightly surprised, but nothing dramatic. Test 2. Add emotional context before the sentence. Generate. After everything we built together, after all those late nights and sacrifices, I can't believe this happened. Listen. Notice the difference? The AI now delivers the line with disappointment, maybe even betrayal. The emotional weight of the previous sentence carries over. This is contextual emotional shaping. The AI doesn't analyze sentences in isolation. It reads the entire paragraph and adjusts tone, pacing, and emotion based on surrounding context. How to use this? For anger, escalate tension before the key line. For sadness, establish loss or disappointment. For excitement, build anticipation. Example, weak, no build-up. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Flat, informational, strong, with build-up. 3 years of preparation, hundreds of failures, countless moments where we almost quit, but we kept going. And now, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Generate this. The final line now carries excitement, triumph, and relief because the context tells the AI what emotion to inject. Method 2, voice settings, stability, and clarity. Most people never touch the voice settings in ElevenLabs. That's a mistake. There are 2 critical sliders that dramatically affect output quality. 1. Stability. 2. Clarity plus similarity enhancement. Let's break down what each one does and when to adjust them. Stability slider, what it controls, how consistent the voice sounds from sentence to sentence. Low stability, 0 to 30%. The voice becomes more expressive, more varied, more emotional, but also more unpredictable. You might get wild tonal shifts, unexpected emphasis, or inconsistent pacing. High stability, 70 to 100%. The voice becomes more controlled, more consistent, more predictable, but also flatter and less expressive. When to use low stability? Character voices, dramatic narration, storytelling, emotional content. Anywhere you want the AI to perform rather than just read. When to use high stability? Audiobooks, instructional content, corporate narration, anything where consistency matters more than expressiveness. Default sweet spot, 50 to 60%. Balanced expressiveness without unpredictability. Clarity plus similarity enhancement. Slider, what it controls, how closely the AI tries to match the original voice sample. Low clarity, 0 to 30%. The AI takes more creative liberties. The voice might sound looser, more varied, but less like the original sample. High clarity, 70 to 100%. The AI sticks very close to the characteristics of your voice sample. More accurate replication, but sometimes less natural sounding if the sample had imperfections. When you need the AI voice to sound exactly like the source material. Client work, brand voices, celebrity impersonations for authorized projects only. When to use low clarity. When you want a voice inspired by the sample but with more flexibility and naturalness. Default sweet spot, 70 to 80%. Strong similarity without overfitting to imperfections. Now, experiment with settings. Pause here and test this. Take any script you've already generated. Now generate it 3 times with different settings. 1. Stability, 30%. Clarity, 75%. Expressive accurate. 2. Stability 75%. Clarity 75%. Controlled accurate. 3. Stability 50%. Clarity 50%. Balanced flexible. Listen to all 3 versions. Which one sounds best for your project? There's no correct answer. It depends on what you're building, but now you understand how to control it. Method 3. Multilingual voice generation. One of ElevenLabs' most powerful features is multilingual voice cloning. You can train a voice in English, then generate speech in Spanish, French, German, Portuguese, Italian, Polish, and more, using the same voice. This is not a translation, this is voice cloning across languages. How it works: when you upload an English voice sample, ElevenLabs learns the characteristics of that voice: pitch, tone, rhythm, timbre. It then applies those characteristics to other languages. The result? Your English-speaking voice can now speak fluent Spanish without you ever recording a single word in Spanish. How to do it? Go to Speech Synthesis. Select your custom voice. In the language drop-down, top right, depending on your interface, select a language other than English. Let's say Spanish. Now type your script in Spanish. Bienvenidos al futuro de la inteligencia artificial. Hoy vamos a explorar cómo esta tecnología está transformando la manera en que creamos contenido. Generate it. Listen. You'll hear your voice. Same tone, same pitch, same character, but speaking Spanish. Pro tip for multilingual projects. If you're doing serious multilingual work, consider training separate voice models for each language using native speaker samples. This gives you better pronunciation and more natural rhythm. But for quick, flexible, multilingual content where good enough is acceptable, ElevenLabs cross-language cloning is incredibly powerful. Method 4. Character voice creation. Let's talk about creating character voices, not clones of real people, but fictional characters with distinct personalities. This is useful for audiobook narration, different voices for different characters, fiction podcasts, video game dialogue, animation voiceovers, educational content with multiple hosts. The process: you can either 1. Clone a real person's voice with permission and adjust settings to create variation. 2. Use ElevenLabs' voice design feature to generate entirely synthetic voices from scratch. Let's focus on option 2, voice design. How to use voice design. Go to Voices, add voice. Voice design. Available on Creator Plan and above. You'll see a text box asking you to describe the voice you want. This is where you get creative. Example prompts: young female voice, energetic, slightly raspy, confident tone, American accent. Middle-aged male voice, deep and authoritative, British accent, calm and measured. Elderly narrator, warm and wise, slightly slow pacing, gentle tone. Type your description. Click Generate. ElevenLabs will create a voice based on your description. Listen to the preview. If it's not quite right, adjust your description and generate again. Once you find a voice you like, save it to your library. Advanced technique: layering character voices in scripts. If you're creating content with multiple characters, you can switch between voices mid-script. Example, audiobook narration. Narrator voice: the old man looked up from his book and smiled. Old man character voice: I've been waiting for you. Narrator voice: his voice was soft, almost a whisper. You'd generate each section separately using different voice models, then edit them together in audio software, Audacity, Adobe Audition, etc. This is standard practice for professional audiobook production with AI voices. Method 5. Advanced script engineering techniques. Let's dive deeper into the art of writing for AI voices. These are advanced techniques that most users never discover. Technique 1. The breath trick. Want the AI to sound more human? Add implied breaths. Instead of, I walked into the room and saw her standing by the window. Try this. I walked into the room and saw her standing by the window. The ellipsis creates a micro pause that mimics a breath. Subtle, but effective. Technique 2. Sentence fragments for realism. People don't speak in perfect sentences. They start, stop, restart. Instead of, I don't know what to say about this situation. Try this. I don't know. I mean, what do you even say about this? Sounds more natural, more conversational. Technique 3. Strategic repetition for emphasis. Want to hammer home a point? Repeat it with variation. This isn't just important, it's critical. It's the difference between success and failure. The AI will naturally emphasize the repeated structure, making the point land harder. Technique 4. Use parenthetical asides. This is controversial. Some voice models handle it well, some don't. Test with yours. The report came back positive, finally, and we could move forward with the project. The parenthetical creates a slight tonal shift, like the speaker is adding a quick editorial comment. Works well for conversational content. Technique 5. Write for the ear, not the eye. This is the golden rule of AI voice scripting. If it doesn't sound good when you read it out loud, it won't sound good when the AI generates it. Always read your scripts aloud before generating. If you stumble over a word, if a sentence feels awkward, if the rhythm is off, rewrite it. Your ear knows what sounds natural. Trust it. How to narrate an audiobook. Let's put these techniques together in a real scenario. You're narrating the opening chapter of a thriller novel. Here's the raw text. Detective Sarah Chen arrived at the crime scene at 3:47 a.m. The victim, Marcus Holloway, was found in his study with a single gunshot wound to the chest. There were no signs of forced entry. This is functional prose, but it's flat for audio narration. Let's rewrite it using our advanced techniques. Detective Sarah Chen arrived at the crime scene at 3:47 a.m. early, too early. The victim, Marcus Holloway, was found in his study. Single gunshot wound to the chest. Clean, professional. And here's the thing that bothered her. No signs of forced entry. None. Generate both versions. Listen to the difference. The second version has sentence fragments. Early, too early. Strategic pauses, ellipsis before single gunshot wound. Emphasis through repetition, clean, professional, a conversational aside. And here's the thing that bothered her. A dramatic final beat, none. The AI delivers this with tension, pacing, and personality because you wrote tension, pacing, and personality into the script. Common mistakes at the advanced level. Even experienced users make these errors. Mistake 1. Over-engineering the script. Adding too many ellipses, dashes, or formatting confuses the AI and makes output choppy. Fix. Use advanced techniques sparingly. 1 dramatic pause per paragraph, not 5. Mistake 2. Ignoring the voice model's personality. Some voices are warm, authoritative, or energetic. Scripts that contradict the voice sound forced. Fix. Match your writing style to the voice model's natural character. Mistake 3. Not testing settings for each project. Using the same stability/clarity settings for every project. Fix. Adjust settings based on content type. Audible books differ from YouTube intros. Complete workflows and production systems. Now let's turn all of this knowledge into complete, repeatable workflows. The kind of systems professionals use to produce high-quality AI voice content at scale. We're going to build 3 real-world projects together. 1. A YouTube video voiceover workflow, end-to-end, from script to final export. 2. A podcast episode production system, including intro, outro, and episode narration. 3. An audiobook chapter workflow with multiple character voices and narrator. For each project, I'll give you the complete step-by-step blueprint, real script examples, troubleshooting strategies, and export and integration tips. Workflow 1. YouTube video voiceover, full production. Scenario: you're creating a 5-minute YouTube video titled 5 AI Tools That Will Replace Your Job and What to Do About It. You need a professional voiceover that sounds natural, engaging, and polished enough for a channel with 50,000 plus subscribers. Step 1. Write the full script. Open your text editor. Write the complete script before you touch ElevenLabs. Here's a template structure for YouTube voiceovers. Hook. By 2026, one of these 5 AI tools will probably automate a significant part of your job. The question isn't if this will happen, it's what you're going to do about it. Let's break it down. Introduction, 15 to 45 seconds. AI isn't coming, it's already here. And while everyone's focused on ChatGPT and image generators, there are 5 lesser-known tools that are quietly revolutionizing entire industries. Some of these will make your work easier. Some will make your work irrelevant. The difference? How you respond. So let's talk about what's actually happening. Main content, 45 seconds to 4 minutes. List the 5 tools, 30 to 45 seconds each, with examples and implications. Conclusion, 4 minutes to 4:45. Here's the reality. AI won't replace jobs. AI will replace people who don't adapt. The tools we just covered aren't threats, they're leverage. Use them, learn them, build with them. Because the people who figure this out early, they're the ones who win. Thanks for reading. I'll see you in the next one. Total length, approximately 1,000 to 1,200 words equals 430 to 5 o'clock minutes of audio. Step 2, format the script for AI voice. Now go through and add performance cues. Original. AI isn't coming, it's already here. Formatted, AI isn't coming, it's already here. Keep this as is. Short sentences create natural emphasis. Original, the question isn't if this will happen, it's what you're going to do about it. Formatted, the question isn't if this will happen, it's what you're going to do about it. Dash creates separation, emphasizes the second half. Go through the entire script and add commas for pacing, dashes for dramatic separation, ellipses for build-up or hesitation, question marks for conversational hooks, exclamation points for energy, use sparingly. This takes 10 to 15 minutes. Don't skip it. This is where 80% of the quality comes from. Step 3. Choose your voice and settings. For YouTube content, you want stability, 45 to 55%, expressive but controlled. Clarity, 75 to 80%, consistent character. Voice choice, either your custom voice model or a pre-built voice that matches your brand. Energetic, authoritative, conversational, depending on your channel's tone. Test a short section first, 30 to 60 seconds, to make sure the voice feels right for this content. Step 4. Generate in sections. Don't generate the entire 5-minute script in one go. Break it into sections. 1. Hook 00 to 0:15. 2. Introduction 0:15 to 0:45. 3. Tool 1 0:45 to 1:30. 4. Tool 2 1:30 to 2:15. 5. Tool 3 2:15 to 3:00. 6. Tool 4 3:00 to 3:45. 7. Tool 5 3:45 to 4:00. 8. Conclusion 4 to 4:45. Generate each section separately. This gives you more control over pacing and tone per section, easier editing if one section needs revision, faster generation times, shorter requests processed quicker. Step 5. Listen and revise each section. After generating the hook, listen critically. Ask yourself, does it grab attention in the first 5 seconds? Does the pacing feel urgent without being rushed? Does the tone match the promise of the video? If not, revise the script and regenerate. Don't move to the next section until the current one is perfect. Repeat this for all 8 sections. Time investment 45 to 90 minutes for the entire video, including revisions. Step 6. Export and compile. Download each section as an MP3. Import all sections into your video editor, Premiere Pro, Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, or even iMovie. Arrange them in sequence on your audio timeline. Quick tip: add 0.5 to 1 second of silence between major sections. Example, between Tool 1 and Tool 2. This gives the viewer a moment to breathe and makes the video feel more polished. Step 7. Final polish. Optional but recommended. If you want your audio to move from good to professional, add light compression, smooths out volume differences, EQ adjustments, boost clarity in the 2 to 5 kHz range if needed. De-esser reduces harsh S sounds. Background music, keep it subtle. The voiceover should stay the focus. Most video editors already include these audio tools. Use them. Total production time 60 to 120 minutes from script to finished video audio. YouTube voiceovers troubleshooting. Problem: the voiceover sounds too AI or robotic. Fix: the script is too formal. Rewrite it more conversationally. Use contractions, casual phrasing, and sentence fragments. Problem: pacing feels inconsistent. Some parts too slow, others too fast. Fix: adjust punctuation. Add commas to slow lines down. Remove them to speed lines up. Regenerate. Problem: the energy drops halfway through the video. Fix: add energy cues. Use shorter sentences, sprinkle in questions, and switch passive phrases to active ones. Workflow. 2. Podcast episode production. Scenario: you're producing a solo podcast episode, 20 minutes, for a show about productivity and work optimization. You need intro music plus voiceover, episode content, outro music plus voiceover. Step 1. Create the intro, 30 to 45 seconds. Script: welcome to Optimized. I'm Alex, and every week we break down the systems, tools, and mental models that help you work smarter, not harder. This week, we're talking about deep work, what it actually means, why most people get it wrong, and the 3-step system I use to protect my focus in a world designed to destroy it. Let's dive in. Settings: stability 50%, clarity 80%, energy, conversational, welcoming. Generate, download as podcast intro episode 12.mp3. Step 2. Write and generate the main episode, 18 minutes. Break your 18-minute episode into 3 to 5 major sections. 1. Introduction to the topic, 3 minutes. 2. Common mistakes people make, 5 minutes. 3. The 3-step system, 7 minutes. 4. Real-world example, 3 minutes. Write each section fully. Format for AI voice. Generate separately. Pro tip for podcast pacing: Podcasts can afford longer pauses and slower pacing than YouTube videos. People listen while commuting, exercising, or doing chores. They're not visually engaged, so the audio needs to breathe more. Add more commas. Use more ellipses. Let the AI take its time. Example: deep work. Everyone talks about it. Cal Newport made it famous. But here's the thing most people miss. It's not about locking yourself in a room for 8 hours. That's not deep work. That's just isolation. Deep work is something else entirely. Generate each section. Download separately. Step 3. Create the outro. 30 to 45 seconds. Script. That's it for this week. If you found this useful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more systems like this, hit subscribe. New episodes drop every Monday. I'm Alex. Stay optimized. Generate. Download as podcast outro episode 12.mp3. Step 4. Compile in audio software. Open Audacity, free, Adobe Audition, or any audio editor. Timeline structure: 1. Intro music, fade in, 5 seconds. 2. Intro voiceover, 30 to 45 seconds. 3. Intro music, fade out, 3 seconds. 4. 2 seconds silence. 5. Episode content sections, 18 minutes total. 6. 2 seconds silence. 7. Outro music, fade in, 3 seconds. 8. Outro voiceover, 30 to 45 seconds. 9. Outro music, fade out, 5 seconds. Total episode length, approximately 20 minutes. Export as high-quality MP3, 192 kilobits per second or higher for podcast distribution. Step 5. Add metadata and publish. Upload to your podcast host, Spotify for podcasters, Libsyn, Transistor, etc. Add episode title, description, timestamps if applicable. Cover art, publish. Total production time, 2 to 4 hours for a 20-minute episode, including writing, generating, editing, and publishing. Podcast troubleshooting tips. Problem: the voiceover sounds too fast for podcast consumption. Fix: add more commas and periods. Podcasts need 10 to 15% slower pacing than YouTube videos. Problem: the AI voice sounds monotone over 20 minutes. Fix: vary your script structure. Mix short sentences with long ones. Add questions. Use rhetorical devices. Keep the writing dynamic. Problem: transitions between sections feel abrupt. Fix: add transitional phrases in your script. Now let's talk about or here's where it gets interesting, or before we move on. Workflow 3. Audiobook. Chapter with multiple characters. Scenario: you're narrating chapter 3 of a fiction novel. The chapter has narrative prose, main narrator voice, dialogue from character A, young female, energetic, dialogue from character B, older male, authoritative. Total chapter length, 15 minutes, 3,000 to 3,500 words. Step 1. Mark up the manuscript. Open your manuscript. Tag each section with voice labels. Narrator: the rain hammered against the windows as Sarah paced the length of the office. She'd been waiting for an hour. Finally, the door opened. Character A: Sarah, you're late. Narrator: Marcus stepped inside, water dripping from his coat. He didn't apologize. Character B: Marcus, we have a problem. Narrator: Sarah stopped pacing. She knew that tone. Nothing good ever followed that tone. Continue through the entire chapter, labeling every voice. Step 2. Create or select 3 voice models. You need 1. Narrator voice, neutral, clear, storytelling tone. 2. Sarah's voice, younger, energetic, use voice design or a pre-built voice. 3. Marcus's voice, older, authoritative, use voice design or a pre-built voice. Test each voice with a short sample to make sure they sound distinct from each other. Step 3. Generate each section with the appropriate voice. Go through your marked up manuscript section by section. For narrator sections, use narrator voice, generate, download as Chapter 3, narrator 01.mp3. For Sarah's dialogue, use Sarah voice, generate, download as Chapter 3, Sarah 01.mp3. For Marcus's dialogue, use Marcus voice, generate, download as Chapter 3, Marcus 01.mp3. Pro tip: generate all narrator sections first, then all Sarah sections, then all Marcus sections. This is faster than constantly switching voices. Step 4. Assemble in Audio Editor. Import all files into your audio editor. Arrange them in chronological order on the timeline. Critical detail: add 0.3 to 0.5 seconds of silence between narrator and dialogue and between different characters' dialogue. This creates a natural conversational rhythm. Step 5. Normalize volume levels. Different voice models might have slightly different volume levels. Select all audio clips. Apply the normalize effect, usually found under effects. Normalize in most audio editors. This ensures consistent volume throughout the chapter. Step 6. Export as single audio file. Export the entire compiled chapter as one MP3 or M4B file. M4B is the standard audiobook format. Settings: format MP3 or M4B. Bitrate 128 kilobits per second, industry standard for audiobooks. Mono, not stereo. Audiobooks are always mono. Total production time 3 to 5 hours for a 15-minute chapter, including markup, generation, assembly, and export. Fixing audiobooks issues. Problem: character voices sound too similar. Fix: use voice design to make them more distinct. Adjust pitch, pacing, and energy. Problem: transitions between narrator and dialogue feel awkward. Fix: add longer pauses, 0.5 to 0.7 seconds, before dialogue and shorter pauses, 0.2 to 0.3 seconds, between lines from the same character. Problem: the narrator's voice becomes monotone over 15 minutes. Fix: vary your sentence structure, add internal thoughts, break up long descriptive passages. Advanced troubleshooting, cross-project issues. Let's address problems that come up across all types of projects. Issue 1. Inconsistent pronunciation of names, terms. Example: the AI pronounces Sarah as Sarah in one section and Sarah in another. Solutions: 1. Spell it phonetically. Change Sarah to Sarah in your script. 2. Use the pronunciation library if available in your plan. Add custom pronunciations for recurring terms. 3. Generate all instances of that name in one session. The AI is more consistent within a single generation. Issue 2. Unnatural emphasis patterns. Example: the AI emphasizes the instead of the key noun in a sentence. Solutions: 1. Rewrite the sentence. Put the important word in a naturally emphasized position, usually end of sentence or after a pause. 2. Use italics. This is the important word. Test with your voice model. Some respond to italics, some don't. 3. Add punctuation cues. This is the important word. Ellipsis before the keyword. Issue 3. Awkward breaths or mouth sounds. Example: you hear clicking, breathing, or other artifacts in the generated audio. Solutions: 1. This usually means your source audio had these artifacts. Retrain your voice model with cleaner samples. 2. Lower the clarity slider. Sometimes high clarity replicates imperfections from the source audio. 3. Use audio editing. Remove the artifacts manually in your audio editor. Use the pencil edit tool to silence specific moments. Issue 4. The AI runs words together. Example: we need to act now. Sounds like we need to act now. Solutions: 1. Add commas. We need to act now. 2. Shorten sentences. We need to act now. 3. Check your stability slider. If it's too low, the AI sometimes loses precision. Issue 5. Emotional tone doesn't match the content. Example, a serious dramatic line sounds cheerful. Solutions: 1. Add contextual setup. Write 1 to 2 sentences before the key line that establish the emotional tone. 2. Adjust voice settings. Lower stability for more emotional range. 3. Rewrite with emotional cues. Add words like unfortunately, devastatingly, shockingly before the key line. You now have everything you need to use ElevenLabs Voice AI at an advanced professional level. You understand how to create custom voice models from clean source audio, how to write scripts that direct AI voice performance, how to control emotional tone, pacing, and emphasis through punctuation and context, how to use voice settings to optimize output quality, how to generate multilingual and character voices, how to build complete production workflows for YouTube, podcasts, and audiobooks, how to troubleshoot every common issue that comes up in real projects. The difference between where you started and where you are now is not just technical knowledge, it's systematic thinking. You're no longer guessing. You have repeatable processes. You have troubleshooting strategies. You have production systems. This is what separates professionals from amateurs in any field. Systems. The tools will evolve. ElevenLabs will add new features. Voice AI will continue improving. But the fundamental principles you learned here, how to direct performance through writing, how to iterate toward quality, how to build efficient workflows, those principles are permanent. Use them. Build with them. Create things that weren't possible 2 years ago. Welcome to the new era of content creation. You're ready.